Before you get training, I think it's really important to establish the correct performance mindset. And that's what we want to talk about today. The common thread above all athletes, whether you're a professional athlete or you're just looking to improve your fitness, is the desire to improve. But I think it's really important that we establish the desire of improvement within context of life. For Purple Patch and myself as a coach, what we're looking for is, yes, for you to improve as an athlete, for you to achieve your goals, but not at the expense of the rest of your life. Really nailing it for an athlete for me is being able to establish a training program in which you can improve, you can thrive, you can achieve all your goals, but at the same time, by integrating that into your life, and that word integrating is really important, integrating it into your life, you get to improve your health, you get to thrive in the workplace, and you bring the best version of yourself to the other parts of your life, family and friends. So it really is the tide rising all ships. That for me is success. In order to do that as an athlete, especially a time-starved athlete, I think there are four magic words that we think about. The first magic word is specificity. But what does that mean to you? Well, the most obvious thing is that your training needs to be anchored around your season of progression and the races that you're actually going to be competing in. We want to progressively build training towards the events that you're getting ready for. And the training has to be anchored around the specific work that will get you ready for that. But beyond that, we need to think about you as the athlete. What is your readiness to absorb? What's your current state that you can absorb training without getting injured, without getting overly fatigued? And so we have to weave a recipe that enables you to go from where you are now and to where you want to be. The third area of specificity that's important is your availability in life. It isn't about just taking a training program and throwing training on top of life. It's truly being able to integrate that training into life so that you can thrive in the other areas and still continue to progress in training. And so we have to weave a training recipe that is specific to your availability and, of course, then anchor towards your goals. The second word is consistency. The magic word in performance globally for me is that consistency. We want to be able to create a training regime that you can rinse and repeat time and time and time again. And that means that whatever the training load is, it has to be, and get this, sustainable. We have to be able to sit and rinse and repeat the training sessions and the training weeks together so that it avoids the training feeling like it's a monkey on your back. Remember that some effective training is much better than just a little bit too much training that's going to lead to too much fatigue, an increased risk of injury, or of course, more frequent sickness. And so when you're approaching training, don't try and ask the question of how much. Don't use the barometer of your success as the accumulation of hours. Instead, find a recipe that works for you within the scope of your life that you can do sustainably over many, many weeks and many, many months. The third word is progression. There are two types of channels of progression overall. Wherever you're at as an athlete, we want you to progress throughout a block of training, throughout a season of training, and dare I say it, even the years of training. After all, performance is a journey. It isn't a little distinct short destination that we're driving for. It's something that you do over many weeks, many months, and even ultimately many years. We also want to set up the training to be progressive over the course of a single season and progress towards your key target events. And so what you're doing at the very start of your seasonal journey progresses and layers so that you can leave yourself in the best physical shape while still fit and fresh, that you can go and actually hit the specific demands of your race and have the best event that you can possibly have. The final component, and this is the one that many don't like to hear, is the word patience. You have to realize that in the performance journey, progression and your improvements is seldom linear. It's an embracing of the journey that it takes, falling in love and having the passion throughout, and realizing that you're not just going to improve in this linear fashion. In fact, even if you don't see immediate results with the training that you're doing, it doesn't mean that it's not positive. It doesn't mean that it's not effective. And so if you can create a recipe that is specific, that enables you to be consistent over many weeks, many months, and even many years, and there is an element of progression throughout those weeks, throughout those months, and you bring to it an element of patience, Ultimately, the end goal and the end result is exactly what utopia we look for: results within context of your life. And that for me is the performance mindset.